Next video. In today's video I will show you how to use SwiftData with UIKit. So the first requirement is you should have Xcode 15, and the second requirement is you should be keeping the minimum iOS deployment target to 17. So if you don't know what SwiftData is the alternative to core data. So if you want to store large amount of data inside your iOS application, you can use SwiftData for it. So I will quickly show you guys a demo for it. So I will click on this add button and I will add some tasks. So I will add some task 1, I guess. So as you can see, it is added inside my table view, and if I want to delete it, I can just click on delete as well. It gets deleted. I will add one more task 2. It gets automatically populated. Now I want to update it, so I will add something like task 3, I guess, and it gets updated to task 3. So yeah, that's it. Simple demo. So let's get started. So as usual, create a UIKit application. Now as of today, I'm not sure if it will be possible in the future. Like when I was creating a UIKit application, the Xcode was not allowing me to select SwiftData. It was only allowing me to select core data. But while creating Swift UI, it allows you to select both core data and Swift data. Maybe in future they might change to allow Swift data with UIKit as well, given that Swift data directly works with UIKit applications as well along with Swift UI. But yeah, currently just be careful. Don't select any data storage while creating UIKit application, as long as Swift data is not selected for you while creating your application. So let's get started. Like as usual, I have created a to-do model. So here you can see it has an ID. So first you have to import Swift data and annotate it with @model. Then I have a unique ID of string, and it takes a task name, and the time is of double. I am just assigning some random time to it. Okay, so this is the only field which is getting populated by the user, as you have seen in the demo. But yeah, if you want, you can add more fields as well. Next, I have created a database service class. So this is a singleton. So again, I have imported Swift UI. So this is the code for adding a singleton. Then I have created a container as well as a context, and this is the code for initializing our context model context. So first you have to create a schema. Suppose you have multiple schemas, so you can just add it after the comma, so it is an array. Then it takes a model configuration. After that, we create a container from our model configuration, and once we get a container, we create context from it. And for saving a task, we will just require a task name, and we will create a to-do model out of it. So id is just created via uuid.uuid string, and the time is just date of time interval since 1960, and task name whatever the user has provided. And we just have to call context.insert. Next for fetching task, you just have to call fetch description, whatever your model name is, and you can sort it however you want. If you don't want to sort it, you can just remove it as well. And next, what I am doing is I am doing context.fetch of descriptor, and you will get all the data which is present inside your Swift database. Next, I am doing update task, and here whatever task we are trying to update, we are just finding that task, then assigning it to our variable, and then calling task updated dot task name to whatever the new task name is. And similarly for delete task as well, whatever we want to delete, we just call context.delete. So if you noticed, like we are not using context while updating any kind of task, but for fetch, create and delete, we require the context. Next, inside our main storyboard, I have just taken a table view. So yeah, so I have just taken navigation controller. Inside that, I have just taken a table view. Next, I have defined a core cell. So inside each of the cell of your table view, I have just taken a UI label. I have added it. I have added some NS layout constraints. I have given it some font, added it as a sub view, our course name to our content view. And next, here just doing NS layout stuff, and this is like boilerplate code which you have to write. Next, inside view controller, all I have done is I have imported Swift data, and first I have created a singleton of it. I have also extended UI table view delegate and data source, and this is our array for our model class. and this is our IB outlet for UI table view. Then I have configured our table view for this, and then called configure UI as well as fetch data. So instead configure UI, I have just defined some title as well as the add button to add a particular task. And to add a particular item, we are just presenting a UI alert controller, and whatever the user types, so once the user has finished typing inside the text field, we are just calling save task and passing whatever the user has typed. And we are again calling fetch data. So fetch data will fetch all the data which is present inside your SwiftData database. So if you check the fetch data function, so first we are removing everything from our array, then we are fetching everything from our database, and once we get any kind of data, we are assigning it to our array, and we are reloading our table view. Then cell for row at, so this is used for defining each and every cell depending on what kind of data we have. So that's what I have done over here, and inside the text I am just assigning our task name. And this is like number of rows in section, I'm just presenting whatever count the array has. And here so this is for swiping actions. So first one is the delete action. So if the user selects the delete, then we are calling self.service.delete task, and depending on what row the user is on, we will get that particular task, and just again calling self.fetch data. Similarly for update as well, just calling once the user selects the update option from swipeable actions, we are just presenting a UI alert controller, and the user can type whatever the task he wants to, like whatever the updated name should be. So here we are finding the task for which the user has swiped, and this is the updated name which he has entered in the text field, and again we are calling self.fetch data. So yeah, and here is I have just updated some background color to this. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.